Wes Streeting was asked this incredibly powerful question at Labour Party conference.
600 preventable deaths were linked to further privatisation. That includes workers' conditions and rights, as well as just general cleanliness and disease that's spreading. I'm from Cumbria, where a hospital was built under Blair for £87 million. We do not own that hospital, and by 2030, we will have spent £101 million on a hospital that we do not own. So my question to you, Wes, is that it's not so much that it's just publicly owned and free to point of use, but please correct me if I'm wrong, but it needs to be publicly operated as well. If we're going to look at where money is going, it's not just that it's going into the NHS, it's that it's going into those private contracts.
And here is the answer he gave to that question.
But we know that with the state that the NHS is in, that the NHS is not always there for people when they need it, and that lots of people are now voting with their feet and going private, paid to do so, either because they have the means or because they are borrowing the means to go private. But where that capacity exists in the private sector, we will pay for people to go private, delivering them fast access to healthcare, but on NHS terms, free at the point of use. And that is what we will do while we rebuild our NHS.
The private sector cannot help us cut waiting lists. New research from We Own It has just found that private companies are taking out £10 million from the NHS in private profits every single week. This is money that could fund building one new operating theatre in the NHS every single week to treat 100 extra patients. Our research shows that 94% of current NHS outsourcing contracts are expiring within this first term of the Labour government. They're already doing it in rail, they must also do it in the NHS. They promised a radical wave of insourcing if they won the election. Now it's time for them to fulfill that promise to the British public. And the British public is massively in support of an NHS that's wholly and entirely run for the public good and not for private profit.